Pick a card. Spirit needs you to know this. Shocking revelations. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your pile. Hi friends, my name is Crystal with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. So let us pick 3 cards together. Or of course you can jump through to the pile selection. Let's select a couple of cards. For those of you that are repeat offenders, super excited to have you here, have you back, excited to be back. And for those of you that are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. Hope you find exactly what it is that you're seeking. For pile number 1, we're going to go ahead and choose discernment. Beautiful card. For pile number 2, we have listening. Hard to get everything on camera here. And for pile number 3, we have freedom. So go ahead and choose your pile. Give you another second to look. And I will see you at your pile. Hi, pile number 1. If you chose the card of discernment, this reading is for you. If you missed the intro, I want to extend a super warm welcome to my repeat offenders. And for those of you new to my channel, thank you for stopping in. Pile number 1, I strongly feel like there's a lot going on in your life right now, things that you don't want to speak of, things that you don't want to see, and sometimes even things that you don't want to hear, and you're not alone in this. I feel a sense, an element of like frustration, of being able to kind of like a fiery energy. I feel like a lot of what you intend to do takes a lot longer than when you want it to take. I'm also feeling like there's just a lot of thoughts that kind of are tug of warring within yourself that kind of manifest in your outward life. So, for example, if you're not really in alignment with the job that you have, or the relationship that you have, or the situationship that you have, your mind and your heart can be tug of warring, and this does come out and it kind of oozes and leaks into your everyday life, believe it or not, in the forms of like frustration, of irritability. Also, I heard the word manhandle, so it could be that you try to like manhandle things, or give things a tune-up. Like I have some friends that were in farming, and they would say, you know, you just got to give that that tractor a tune-up, and they would, you know, literally hit it with a hammer or whatever it be, and sometimes it would just really work. So you could be that kind of people as of right now, and I can really relate to you. I'm gonna start off with the sundial and the whole thing of like, I don't want to see. And I know that this is typically associated with like see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil type thing. And those could be part of the thing as well. Like your part of your frustration, you can't speak your truth, and maybe you're perceiving that whatever it is that is true to you is like evil. Maybe perhaps you're looking at your marriage or your partnership, situationship, and you're not content, but you don't want to speak it because you're in a commitment, there are children involved for whatever reason. Obviously, we don't want to hurt our partners, but perhaps it's, you know, I'm not happy. Maybe I'm looking at the grass is greener on the other side, which by the way, it's not, but my opinion. But maybe it could be those things as well, like judging, you know, good and bad within yourself and having that war within yourself. And I just feel like things are very turbulent, and you could be losing your temper quite easily. Now with the sundial, going back to this, I feel like this is also you getting I want to feel like manifestations or messages from high above, and sun gazing can be really important to you right now in order to help you actually see clearly. There's an element of not being able to see clearly. And if I'm not mistaken, this girl has like a ring on there, so I feel like that's like a commitment, matrimony, or something like that. And of course, if it's not a partnership, then it definitely pertains to a job, because we spend a lot of time at our jobs, and we could be married to our jobs as well. But it could be saying something like, well, you know, with my yellow chakra, this is like, I am like the fire that gets you up in the morning, what motivates you, what propels you, what compels you, what snags your brain and gets you to chew on it and think about things, and all things like that. So whatever it is that you really truly desire, I feel like you're not really dedicated to it, and that's part of like you don't want to see, because it's like all the changes, you definitely don't want to speak, and you don't want to hear about it. And I once again can relate. The problem with that is that storms can come into our lives, and we can cause our own demise, and things can kind of topple over and fall down in spite of ourselves. Now, I'm happy, actually, sun's rising, and I'm looking out my window right now, and there's a lot of like trees, and you know, you can see like shapes in anything or letters, and I'm seeing the letter F. So this could be like, F this, I don't want to deal with it, I don't want to hear it, see it, whatever the case may be. Or it could be like you're feeling like, F this. But I'm also seeing kind of like a witch's hat, and to me that's almost like manifestation. I want to manifest something, but I feel frustrated, and my efforts sometimes to function in the real world or in this current world, or to make any changes, seem like it seems like ineffective. Okay, I feel like you could be feeling really ineffective. Now with the sundial, I'm gonna say that sometimes turning that dial a little bit will uncover your eyes, maybe looking at things from a slightly different perspective, bouncing things off of friends could be a thing right now for you. That could be really helpful. Also, I have a lot of these birds that I cannot ignore in the background that snagged my attention, of course. And I'm gonna say that, oh wow, so they each have something behind their mind. So it's like the listening. She has a globe back here, and this appears to be kind of like a horoscope wheel, or the Chinese horoscope thing, like the sheep and the pig and the snake and the dragon, all that. So take whatever pertains, but it could be like a zodiac sign or something that you don't want to speak of. There could be signs that you don't want to speak of, or things like maybe you need to travel the world, or you need to relocate or do something that you really just don't want to hear. And also looking from a different perspective that you're really attempting to deny. Back to the birds, I feel like you could have a deep connection with birds, or I feel like I heard in spite of myself. In spite of myself, I noticed the birds, and I kind of feel that statement, because sometimes I want to ignore the world as well, but it just doesn't work. Spirit has a way of making us deal with things, whether it's sooner or later. And I'm going to say that compatibility is going to be a really big thing. I feel like with this one, it's speaking, not speaking ill against your relationship, but even discussing, like, what about what we just talked about? Like, we're not compatible right now, or things are not going in the same direction as what we once were. Maybe you've been married for a long time or together for a long time, and things can get a little bit stale, and that's okay, because, you know, life is not Hollywood, and things are not always riveting and exciting. Look at Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Sorry, but you know, the Bradgelina whole thing that blew up, and I mean, it was to be expected. Things cannot contain that same intensity as when you first start. Things do evolve and change, and maybe it's time to kind of bring like romance back into your life and speak the truth a little bit, and say, hey, can we try this? Can we try that? Or whatever the case may be. But I feel like you could also be having a lot of even nightmares, or sensing dark energy, or having like moments of fear. And I know, especially for men, not that I have a lot of men on this channel, but a lot of us can knee-jerk by thinking, well, I'm not afraid, I'm not fearful. Well, we're all fearful. I mean, it's built into our system for a reason. So all of these things can serve to say, like, basically, I'm afraid to go there because what of the implication of my marriage, my situationship, my job, things like that, and this is how I make money, or this is the investment that I made and I can't necessarily pull out now. So there are different things like that, or maybe somebody needs to relocate and you need to live in like a different place because of your work or because of somebody's health or things like that, and you're going to try to make a long distance relationship work after being together for a long time. So there's a lot of different possibilities here. Keep in mind, I'm reading for many. That is a hope anyways. We're optimistic here. So show me what I need to see, because I do feel like this is relationship based. Show me what I need to see for pile number 1. And show me now a deception. So this could be saying that somebody is wearing a false mask and that you yourself are wearing a false mask. It could be saying that even this little Cupid guy here is trying to unmask this person, and maybe perhaps that's part of like, I need to speak my truth or speak what I hear or reveal what I see, and that you see somebody is wearing a mask and you're not happy about that. And yet you yourself are wearing a mask. Like, I don't see anything. Everything's fine. Everything's like normal. And we get up and we get our kids ready and we get out the door and I go to my job and she goes to her job, or vice versa. We don't read sex on this channel. We strictly read energy. So however that fits into your life, you know, I feel like you have a status quo to keep up, or something about the, hey, I don't see you slipping, that kind of a thing. I heard I got you. So it could be, you know, a habit of like a caretaker saying, hey, I got you no matter what, but inwardly realizing that something is deeply affecting these two people because they can't even look at each other's faces any longer. And they are not who they started out to be, and things have quite evolved. It is time for you to take the mask, to take action. It's moving forward or moving out of position where you are in pretense with someone else, somebody close. Could be family, relative, a sibling, whatever the case may be, a close partnership. Now I'm going to say, like, with all of this fog in the back, you could be having a lot of brain fog or a lot of confusion as to how to make this work, or you've been in, how to say it to not sound offensive. I mean, you could be in this charade for a long time and not know like how to move beyond it, and it's just easier. And I've been there too. So please don't take offense if I say charade, because I've been there, done that. But I'm gonna say, like, it is time for movement, to get grounded. And you could have people like judging you, like saying, no, this isn't the way to go, or stop right now, or whatever the case may be. And I'm not suggesting you leave your partner, not by a long shot, but definitely making a movement, saying, hey, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna collect myself, I'm gonna ground myself, I'm gonna take a 3-day weekend by myself and figure out what it is that I really need from you, or how our relationship looks and how we can heal things together, whatever the case may be. There is an unmasking coming, and if you don't do it yourself, I feel like it'll be done for you. Okay, ominous, guys. Let's see, what else do we have? Show me what I need to see for pile number 1. Pile number 1, how can we help this situation, and what is the situation? And show me now. We're going to get 2 of these cards. 2 total. Stay optimistic about your love life. Yes, positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So this, once again, could be a romance that is established or a new thing, but staying positive. And, you know, we all struggle with this. We all struggle, especially if we've been wearing masks or seeing things that we don't want to speak about or acknowledge for fear of making them even more real, where it's, you know, it's kind of silly because it's already there, it's already real. So not speaking it doesn't mean that you're not giving it life. It already has life, but addressing it directly will serve to really kind of stomp out the issue. I can also feel like during this time, you yourself could become, if you're not careful, cruel. You could say things that you don't mean out of sheer frustration, or do things that are quite shocking to you because you're in a kind of a frenetic energy right now. And let's figure out how to heal this. How do we heal this? How do we take off these masks and move on into a better place for everybody? How does this work? Show me what I need to see for healing and growth here, and show me now. I'm going to take 3 cards. Okay. Temperance. So yeah, have a balance, making sure you're not going through one extreme to the other. Make sure that you are grounded. Putting your feet literally in glass, oh my gosh, in grass, and on Mother Earth, or like leaning on a tree, whatever the case may be, to get some really good grounding. Having deep breathing, having some alone time as well, but also being connected to your emotions. Maybe even taking salt baths, taking salt showers, whatever the case may be, to cleanse your energy, to make sure that you're not like swaying one way or another, or sinking into this lower energy, because we have all this like stuff going on in our brain and we kind of lash out. And I can really relate to that. So no shame in that game. It's just stuff that we all have to work on stuff, okay? So temperance is going to be really, really important. Temperance also tells me that there's healing involved. And this almost, I know that it's like a little gate here, but it feels to me like a ladder has been laid sideways. So maybe the time to climb, the time to kind of escalate things, or the time to overcome is not this minute. You need some healing, some balance and perspective before you can prop that ladder up and continue the climb, whether it's like healing a relationship or whatever the case may be. And yeah, out of my frustration, I just cut myself. So that happened. But 801, so this could happen very swiftly, but this also alludes to communication. All right, so speaking what you hear maybe and what you see, and being very open about who you are, what it is, what your motivations are, losing that mask, which is very, very difficult, especially if the mask has been there for a long time. But I feel like it could be reciprocal energy if you approach it properly. If you get maybe like a therapist in there, that could be very helpful. I mean, only you know your life, and take what pertains and leave the rest. If you guys are liking these kind of readings, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. I know sometimes that this kind of reading cannot be easy to hear, but it is good to see that there is a way out, and maybe try to implement a couple of different things, like solutions that we're talking about here. Okay, last thing for what can be helpful in this situation, relationship, situationship, whatever the case may be. Endings. So something has to end, and you have to be okay with endings. Endings suck, but not all endings suck. I mean, taking off your mask is an ending. Speaking your truth is also an ending after being stifled and not speaking truth for a long time. Communicating like maybe how things have not worked out to your expectation, or how your ideas or how words have hurt you. Any of these things is a choice, and it's also choosing an ending to hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, which is really interesting, because when you think about the world right now, I personally see a lot of evil in the world currently. And, you know, people are not speaking out. We're not speaking out. We're not saying, hey, that's just not right. We're instead like buying into the fear and the narrative and turning on each other. And this wasn't meant to be like a big talk about life right now or the world, but here we are. In the same breath, this could really talk to you about that. I see like clouds here, leaves falling, maybe there are even quills, the shattered mirror. And this could be also like with the deception. It's like I feel like I've been doing good. I've been doing good by my family and taking care of my kids, taking care of life, doing the status quo, doing what I'm expected to do, and yet you're not happy. That is a false mask, my friend. And yes, I've worn it too, like many times, and it's difficult to like pull off and grow through, but here we are together. I feel like even this scarf around the panda's neck can really allude to your security, because you know what is red? Red is like your root chakra, and this is how you sustain yourself, your home, your hearth, your secure stability, things like that. And so that could be really compromised, and I feel like it's around the panda's neck because you could be feeling choked out by your responsibilities, by the things that you've agreed, even verbal contracts or non-verbal contracts. It doesn't make a difference. There was an agreement there. And this perhaps had a lot to do with like your self-esteem and feeling like maybe even taking off the mask and saying, hey, this doesn't work anymore. There's a lot of red here. Talking about the root chakra. I feel like that can really ruin your self-esteem or how you look at yourself some way, somehow, or you're concerned with how other people look at you. Well, in the end, it just matters is like everybody's feeling that energy around you. They can tell that you're not happy. They can tell that we are frustrated, upset, or not in the game, or our heart isn't behind it, whatever the case may be. It's just as well, time to just kind of cry uncle and just really have an open discussion. And I feel like that's what the Ten of Swords is getting out of this, like, okay, I have to tie myself up in knots to make other people happy. I have to put myself on fire to make other people happy. And that just will never work. If we're putting ourselves on fire to make other people warm, to keep other people warm, then that just means we're surrounded by the wrong people. And no amount of fire is going to quench that thirst on another person, and plus it's not really just logical. So that is what I have for you. I hope that this works. Let me know in the comments if you feel so inclined. If not, I will see you next time. Namaste. Hi friends, my name is Chriselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading, pile number 2. If you chose listening, then this is your reading. If you missed the intro and you're a repeat offender, thank you so much for stopping back into my channel. That was awkward. But thank you for stopping by again. I know I've been gone for quite a while. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I hope that you receive exactly what it is that you are seeking. So here we go. Pile number 2 is listening. And the first thing I want to say is that sometimes people who are really observers, because they get an observing energy about this, can seem to be really passive, or can seem to be maybe non-threatening. But I feel like you're listening, and you're listening with purpose. And I feel like there's also something that you have been told, or that you've overheard, that you are not quite... it should serve as a jolt, like an awakening type thing, or that it was even a little bit startling. And I feel like with these 2 little birdies right here, it makes me almost feel like people are like gossiping, or you've overheard gossip. And it could be, there's a lot of bird references, very cool. It could be, is that a giant wing? Difficult to see, but it sure looks like it. Anyway, so birds could be of significance. You could have birds, or like birds in general. I have a deep connection to birds. I love when they come about, and it feels like it just really puts me in a meditative state. So maybe this is time for you to really meditate and start listening to what people are saying, but also listening to what they're not saying. Funny, right? Because it's just as important what someone says as what they don't say. And I think that with her being so covered up, there could be an element of you just wanting to kind of blend into the wall, I heard eavesdrop. I don't know why it's coming through, but maybe like one partner is eavesdropping on the other. If you don't feel that in your gut, then don't accept that message. That's fine. That might be just for one person out there, but this could have something to do with your ability to listen and process things. So, listening. Let's get a little bit more. I feel like we need 2 more here. Show me what I need to see for pile number 2. I still feel like this goes back to your personal power. I feel like you're going to regain a lot more power by listening to what is said as well as unsaid, watching, observing. It will give you the answers that you have been seeking for some time. Show me what I need to see, and show me now 2 cards, please. Divine timing and wisdom. These cards are freaking phenomenal. So divine timing, yes. And this is prior to signing any contract. 2 dragonflies right here. This could be about a major change in your life. It's maybe time to sign a contract, time to finalize things. It could be time to proceed with what it is that you have been wanting, maybe, or or it could be about an old contract. So divine timing is all inclusive. Let's see what is going on here. We have wisdom with the owl. And again, I get that observer. So the more that you observe, the more you're going to be able to make a wise decision. And this is, we enter into contracts in many different ways. It doesn't have to be, it can be, but not limited to buying a car, co-signing for someone, buying property with someone, or by yourself. It could be throwing in your assets together. It could be trying to find common ground in order to pave the way for, I don't know, like a business or any of those things. It could be, of course, like a marriage, relationship, things like that as well. Contracts with, your work contract. You could be a contractor. But this will give you a lot more wisdom. And I'm looking also, I'm being led to see the water behind her. It looks very peaceful. It'll give you a lot of peace that if you start listening to what is said, and especially what is not said, then you can ask the right questions, get the information you need. And when the time is right, I feel like you're looking pretty, whether you're male, female, you're going to be looking and smelling like a rose, meaning that if your contract is up, if you wait for the right time, and you hear the right thing, maybe you can kind of reflect back to them what it is that they want, and you being at the forefront of that is, as far as like presenting, well, I have this to offer. Do we want to contract, in this manner instead? So whatever that looks like, you could be contracted with the state to answer their phones, or a contractor like physical labor, or pouring concrete, or real estate, or I don't know what else contractors do, but you get the gist, okay? I heard walk the line, so I don't really know what that means. Take that for, I kind of feel like that's like a Johnny Cash reference. You could like Johnny Cash, but also, once again, I feel like wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom to be learned by listening. So if you're somebody who typically loves to talk, be very careful. You could tip your cards. You could really damage yourself. I've done it myself, by the way. This is in no way, shape, or form a judgment per se. But, by running my mouth, I could damage my opportunities or miss something that is really critical to my signing a contract, meaning that I could have gotten a better deal had I just shut my mouth and listened and observed, or done a little bit more homeworking before I signed on the dotted line. Yeah. So something is major about the change, and I feel like it's going to change two major things in your life. Let's see what else we get. We're going to pull this and romance cards. Show me what I need to see. I'm going to pull two of these, please. Clarification on what is going on for pile number 2. Oh, thank you. And show me now. I got a jumper, and the jumper always has a lot more meaning to me. Oh, love yourself first. And then something that I might pull and flirt. Okay. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Now, if this is not like a romantic thing, I totally get that. This could totally be about, again, a work contract, a situation, a job that you're accepting. Just look over the fine details and see if there's anything that you need to detect. Hate to say it, I'm really grateful for my employer. Well, disclaimer, but I should have really read the contract a little bit more in detail when I received it, and it's no fault of her own. I, signed on the dotted line, and I did have an idea that I should have, kind of asked for something, but I didn't. And so, but anyways, that gets messy and complicated, and y'all don't really want to hear that, do you? So this is about, of course, loving yourself first. Part of loving yourself first in this scenario is going to be to wait for divine timing. Don't push things. Don't try to force resolutions or force somebody's hand at this point in time. Yeah, forcing the hand is not going to be a good idea. Part of self-love is going to be listening. And once again, if you're a talker, then I would just recommend trying to concentrate on your breathing and learn how to listen a little bit better, because you're going to be amazed at the gold nuggets that you're going to find that will really radically improve and change your life in no time, just by doing that one small thing. Okay. Flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others. Now, Interesting. I really struggle with this. I'm not like the best flirt. Some people say that I am, but I don't know. I just find it like really awkward. Maybe I could just like easier flirt with people I'm not interested in and things like that. But even flirting, in this situation, I feel like if you're a contractor, flirting with other people who would take up that contract as well, and seeing what else is out there, and then coming back to negotiate, and you know, after you've heard of, you know, the propositions that are out there, even I would extend it to going a little bit above what you're capable of, not overstretching or committing something that you cannot do or perform or deliver, of course, but something that's going to help stretch you into maybe a new way of doing your business, or a new way of fulfilling that contract that makes you even more attractive and versatile than competitors. So yeah, this element of flirting, extending your lighthearted energy towards others. Now, it's funny that if you've noticed, I ain't got a lot to say about that lighthearted energy. Because you know, I'll be the first to admit my energy is pretty dense. It's not lighthearted by a long shot. And that's something that I always, you know, it's funny, I got to work on it, but even in that, there's a heaviness to it. So we're going to allow the cards to talk. I'm going to take 3 cards. Show me what I need to see about this situation here for pile number 2. And again, if you like these kind of readings, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment if you feel like you were led to. Did it resonate? What parts? If not, that is perfectly fine. Show me what I need to see for pile number 2. And I, again, am doing 3 cards. Yeah, situation that you need to move on from. 6 of Swords, moving on to calmer waters. This panda is kind of like taking his or her own experiences, and they are moving into maybe a time that's a little bit turbulent, that you feel a little bit insecure, not sure about how you're doing. And again, work or home life or relationship, whatever the case may be. Well, in the end, everything is a relationship. But we're looking for still waters, and we're looking to go there. And I feel like there will be like a celebration or a lot clarity. I hear clarity and peace with these waters right here. And I feel like this would be somebody who speaks to you clearly, who is direct, who communicates well, provided that we, of course, listen. But this is not forgetting your experiences and knowing, well, I know this about myself. I tend to talk too much, or in my situation, I tend to kind of clam up or stuff my emotions. So whatever your deal is, you know you, and you can best take this advice and modify it to accommodate you, right? 6 of Swords. So moving on from something, what else do we need to know? The Sun. So I feel like you automatically have like a great reputation. I do feel like people want to take advantage of you at times, and I feel like this panda is even covering over one eye, almost trying to like hide. It seems like sometimes you want to be like a wallflower, or kind of quiet, or maybe you're a little bit shy. Believe it or not, I'm a little bit shy, and I tend to kind of want to hide or drag behind, or you know, I'm not necessarily wanting to be the first person in a room, or all loud, or whatever the case may be. But regardless of how you present yourself to the world, I feel like there is no way to take away your shine. People are magnetized by you, by your image, by just who you are in general, and your ability to see through things. Again, this little panda is looking right through those little leaves and things like that. And also with the, I almost said yellow, but the blue part around, you know, the sky, presumably, I feel like you have a unique voice that really draws people to you. So you could be a content creator, you could be a public speaker, you could be someone who is a performer, an actor. I don't know, you could be somebody who's like in speech or debate or things like that. If that's your thing, if you're in college or school. So I feel like you have a lot of wisdom here that people want to tap into, and yet you kind of want to like hide yourself. So I'm going to encourage you, especially with this like new contract thing and the changes. I feel like you're going to be speaking more and being more upfront and center. And some of you, that might make you nervous, but you got this. Yeah. And this is why I feel like Three of Swords, I feel like this could be something that really has served a wound, like a past wound that has like betrayed you or made you feel like you didn't have enough knowledge, because books are knowledge, a symbol of knowledge to me, and even like rooted. It's almost like you don't have your facts straight or something like that, or somebody's been making fun of you, or somebody was trolling you, whatever the case may be. They made you feel kind of insignificant and kind of defeated. And I feel like this could have hurt your heart quite a bit, which would really explain why you tend to hide, and why you're not like front and center, and why you tend to kind of I don't want to say you step up only if it's a last resort, but I feel like this pile is observing, is an observant crowd, but I feel like you step up to the plate if you have to. And I don't mean that like, oh, reluctant, like, but I feel like you allow other people to shine or take center stage. But if nobody's can do it, you will step up. For example, I've, taken, it's been a while, but I've taken some shooting courses, and we did like active shooter. And if nobody is like taking the initiative to really see if other people that are down, that have gotten shot and things like that, are taken care of, or if they're well or whatever, being that person that goes, okay, nobody else is going to do it, I'm going to do it, or I'm going to front the shooter, and take this metaphorically, please. This is not to debate anything about guns or whatever. Y'all know where I stand on that. If you don't, you do now. Anyways, moving on. I'm going to say that, it would be that scenario. If there's an emergency, you're the one to step to the forefront, and you do it beautifully. You could use that commanding voice. You have an ability to move people towards safety as well. So, and maybe you're in the health industry. Something about health and safety can have something to do with what we are discussing right now. So let me get, I feel like 2 more. Show me what I need to see. What do we need to know about this contract that we've signed, whether it's a formal, verbal, nonverbal, it doesn't make a difference. If we agree on something, that it's still a contract. Show me what I need to see for pile 2, and show me now. The 9 of Cups, you're going to get exactly what it is that you want. There is a time to speak, and you know that. Being an observer, I feel like keep your ears open a little bit more, okay? So we can observe with our eyeballs, but not necessarily listen when people are speaking, and I kind of struggle with that. Yeah, because I get in my own head. So I observe with my eyeballs, and maybe I don't hear too well. And dream space, yeah. So I feel like this is going to allow you to kind of brainstorm and even look at what do they call it, negative space. So if you in your job or in your relationship have some negative space going on right now, I feel like you can flip that. You can even grab your camera and take a picture and do like negative space and see what that looks like, and look at things from a totally different perspective. I think that would help you to really achieve what it is that you want. But what you want is emotional fulfillment. This little panda is ready to get their drink on. I feel like that is closing a chapter or moving away from something, or making decisions that help you move away to calmer waters, whether it's less responsibility or more pay and the same responsibility, or if it's a different situationship, or whether you choose to, be free and kind of like flirt and live your life and be a little bit more of an extrovert than an introvert. And that's really difficult for some people like myself. Well, all of the above. So I hope that helps. If this has been any help or interest to you, again, smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe, and until next time, guys, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Crystal with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. If you chose pile number 3, then welcome. This is your reading. If you missed the intro, my name is Griselle, and I will be doing your reading. For those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for showing up once again. I know I've been gone for quite a bit. And for those of you that are newbies, thank you for stopping in. I do hope that you'll find something that you enjoy about this channel, and that is healing and whatever it is that you need. Okay, moving on. Pile number 3. You chose freedom. I love this. I love how she is looking at that bird. I feel like that's like the bird of peace. I love how her chest is open. She's not kind of like hiding things or clothed or shrinking into herself. And I feel like you are somebody who, if you're not, as of right now, you will be somebody who's seeking freedom. And it could be looking at freedom in many different ways. It could be freedom from duties, from responsibilities, from people. It could be freedom from people as well. It could be job changes. I mean, it can look so many different ways depending on where you are in life. And I feel like this talks about like an establishment that has been there for a long time. And maybe you're just seeing that it's not for you any longer. Maybe you're seeing that, you know, these walls were, you know, I mean, they did a lot for me for a long time, and I felt secure and I felt safe, and maybe they worked once upon a time. But it is time for a change. And maybe it could even indicate that you want freedom within your own job. But I feel like it has a lot to do with responsibilities. Maybe perhaps you are like myself, we're getting a little bit older, and we're thinking, you know, my son is 20, for example, and it's not like I need to mother him or take him to daycare or things like that. He'll always need a mom, of course. But it could be a situation where you, as people grow around you and change around you, like my son going to college now, and I'm super excited about that, and having, you know, a job, and, you know, the fact that he lives in Arizona and I no longer do. So a lot has changed within my life. And I feel like there could be people that are kind of growing, whether people are graduating from like being like little babies that consumed your time, and now they're, you know, in grade school, or they're in high school, or they're moving out of the house, whatever your situation is. Or if it doesn't pertain to kids, maybe taking on responsibilities that really, frankly, did not belong to you. And I feel also, okay, and by the way, you're dropping those. So anything that doesn't belong to you, I feel like you're getting to your core of who you really are. And it's not that we don't care about people any longer, it's that we're allowing other people to take responsibility for their own life. That's why it's called your life, not mine, and vice versa. I feel like you are looking at things differently. I feel like you want to be a little bit more lighthearted. You want to explore more what is within your own soul, your own spirit. And I feel like maybe you have been kept busy, or kept yourself busy with duties and responsibilities in order not to really go within, or you just didn't have the opportunity because you felt like you had to do these things. Another example would be like raising kids, or accepting duties like providing for a family if you are a kid yourself, or a minor, taking a part-time job in order to help support family and things like that. All of those are responsibilities that, you know, technically would not be yours because you're a minor. Well, I guess it depends on where in the world you live. But regardless, that's a sense of freedom. You're looking at, okay, I wish I could be free. What does that mean? Does it mean going to the ocean and watching seagulls, and maybe like photographing people on the ocean and seeing what makes them happy and gives them joy? Is it like meditating by the water? Is it swimming in water? Is it taking on different hobbies? Like maybe you want to learn how to fly, like literally, and you want to take some pilot lessons or simulation lessons, whatever the case may be. You could also be thinking, how could I spread my wings? And this bird is not in flight, it has wings. And maybe you're realizing, hey, I haven't flown anywhere, but I have the ability to. Maybe I've been confined into a certain role or doing certain duties because I'm responsible, or I'm reliable, or people can count on me, type of thing. But maybe it's time for you to focus on what it is that you need in order to take flight, to feel whole, to feel like life has juice, and that you're growing and evolving, and that you feel hopeful and happy. That's the point of it all. Show me what I need to see. Why is this card here? I'm going to get 2 cards from the romance deck. The romance angels. Show me why freedom is here for pile number 3. And show me now 2 cards. worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. There was another pile that talked about divine timing. And of course, this doesn't have to be all about love. It could be just, well, love life. It could be your life in general. Okay, soulmate, never mind. I guess this is about love. Here we go. Yes, this is your soulmate. So if you chose pile number 3, the person on your mind, if you have a person on your mind, then that's your soulmate. And I say that with this in mind. This is my disclaimer. Apparently we're doing these. I don't know why. But a soulmate is a soulmate is a soulmate. That's fine. If you feel like this deep magnetic connection, if you're, like drawn to this person, they're drawn to you, and I get that. And if you have a relationship like none other, I totally get that. But keep in mind, if they make different choices and don't choose you, that is also a choice, and we can't put our lives on hold for anybody. There's no way in hell that I'm ever going to sit here and say this is your soulmate and wait for that one person. I do believe that you have other people that are compatible with you, and if that person chooses a different path, if they choose not to wake up, if they choose differently, or maybe perhaps this person hasn't chosen as of yet, then that's fine as well. But maybe you're even seeking freedom from the idea of a soulmate. I feel like that could be very confining for a lot of us. So I'm looking out my window and I'm seeing this like tarp thing, and it looks to me a cross between like a turtle. Wow, a turtle. Okay, that would make sense. Or some kind of a slow reptile. Anyways, but turtles, what do? They hide in their shells. And maybe your soulmate is a person who has run away from you, who has denied this connection, betrayed the connection, or has never acknowledged like a connection with you publicly, or even to themselves. But regardless, I feel like they do have feelings for you. But again, feelings are feelings, and it doesn't make a difference if they're not acting on it. Then to me, it's like, what's the point? But this person, like with the turtle that I just saw, I'm going to say this person could be headed your way, but very slowly, okay? And turtles can get to be like really, really old, depending on, I guess, the breed. Is that a thing? But I will tell you that they can get really big. Some of them can get really, really big and really old. And of course, their gait is known to be very slow. So this person could be like hiding in their home, hiding with a facade of what is their home. And they could be thinking that they're making moves towards you, but their movements are really turtle-like. They're like, I'll wait till my kid is in college, in high school. I'll wait till, this and that and the other. I'll wait till my family, if your parents don't approve, I'll wait till whatever, till they pass away, and then I can move towards you or whatever. But do not put your life on hold for anyone. That's a lot of bullshit, by the way. Moving on. 6 of Pentacles we have here. So this is quite lovely, but this also can indicate that this person perhaps was giving to many different people. They're like, yeah, you want to play. They could have a family with different people, like 2 different mamas, baby mamas, and they're focused on like giving to 2 different people. But I sense like with this coin strapped almost on the back, it's like I give to these 2 different people. It could be like I pay child support and I have a family that I'm currently responsible for, but I still play the field, that kind of a thing. I feel like this person is like not really committed to anyone but themselves, by the way. So if this is your person, or if you get that gut feeling, then know that, yeah, they could be your soulmate, but is that really worth hanging around for? I mean, you could do better. You could do better. I would say, defend yourself, defend your peace, I heard your property. I don't know what that means. If this person might want to like come in, move in and use you for finances or whatever, that is a possibility. But you want to definitely come in because you are standing on high ground. I feel like what you believe in, your core beliefs and things like that could be challenged. But at this point in time, you're ready for that challenge. You're like, yeah, this isn't going to happen and I can take you on. And I feel like some of you guys, you want freedom from your soulmates. I know that that's quite unexpected. But I feel also like if it's, again, your soulmate And that is a great thing. But if they can't make up their minds, then why are we going to wait around and wait for somebody who can't make up their minds or has chosen differently? Like, it is time to choose you, my friend. It is always time to choose you, because if you don't choose you, then you can't be of service to mankind, to your family, to friends. You can't be genuine with yourself. If you're giving that power away, then I feel like you're not really fulfilling your life. So I don't feel, my philosophy is not like, oh, we were put on this earth in order to have like this great romance, this great love, this great thing. I mean, it could be for some of us, but what if we are put on this world to learn and to make choices and to accept the choices other people make? So I feel like there's a lot of freedom in saying, I'm not going to hold myself in limbo for somebody who doesn't know their own mind or who keeps choosing someone else. And so worth waiting for, it might be, but you want to wait for the right person. You want to wait for freedom, what gives you wings, what makes you feel free. And I feel like a liberation, giving yourself freedom from maybe even you think that your soulmate is worth waiting for. And how long are you going to wait? Just a question, because time does, fly by. And I will say that once upon a time, I did think that I had a soulmate. And I will say that that person is my cellmate. And, they did this very thing. They chose time and time again, deception and like other people. And even though there was like a really incredible connection there, but they denied it through action, through deeds, through how I was treated. So I feel like you need to look at those things once again and choose yourself first. And if you look at it in like grand scheme of things, like, would we really be put on this earth just to know like what love is? I heard is it Billy Ocean? I want to know what love is. I could be wrong, but anyways, you get the point to that. You could love in many different ways, but there is a higher purpose for you. There is freedom here for you. Freedom from attachments of people that don't pick you, and maybe even someone else that is worth waiting for. Maybe you've been waiting for a long time. Maybe somebody else has been waiting for you to make that decision for them. Wouldn't that be ironic? But I feel like divine timing is at work in your love life. And even if you're like happily partnered right now, I feel like maybe your dynamics could be changing, okay? You could be having a new child coming into the family, or having extended relatives come live with you, whatever the case may be. So in the end, I guess we're all like connected. And yeah. So Page of Pentacles, I feel like with this freedom, you're going to start learning how to give a little bit and seeing what is reciprocated and not giving the whole kit and caboodle. Why give everything to one person, especially if they're not giving you anything back? And it's not tit for tat or let's, give equally. It's about having an energetic balance and matching people's energy with what they bring to you. If somebody like texts you occasionally, or they're like, oh, so-and-so, and you're on their mind like once every 5 months, 6 months, once every 3 years, then you know where you stand with that person. And don't waste your time by pining or thinking about that forever. Yeah, because this person is juggling multiple responsibilities, or two things that are equally important, or even two different people. So worth waiting for is your freedom. Show me what I need to see about this freedom card and the worth waiting for here. Show me what I need to see and show me now. The Page of Swords. So I did flip it in reverse for whatever reason. If you're stalking somebody on social media, looking at what they're doing and things like that to gain more information, I would suggest you've learned what you need to learn, because this little panda has all these books lined up and you've done a lot of research and studying, maybe a lot of spying. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. No judgment here. I feel like you have that knowledge and that wisdom and the clarity. But at this point, it's going to be pointless for you to continue this kind of behavior. It will only keep you in your mind and tend to fog things up. You know what you know, and you know enough to have your freedom. What is this freedom about for pile number 3? And show me now. Queen of Pentacles, yeah, freedom to be grounded. maybe even to raise a family. This could be somebody like adopting, somebody focusing on their own children, focusing, it doesn't have to be even kids. It could be focusing your child. It could be like your love creation. That sounded really awkward, but it could be something like, okay, I'm taking up painting, or I'm taking up a new hobby, or I'm taking up a side hustle, whatever that thing is for you, that thing that you want to love and help grow, and set apart from others, the thing that you want to dedicate a lot of time, energy, and effort, blood, sweat, and tears to. But that's going to help ground you. So it could be a hobby. Once again, it could be literally a child, adopting or foster parenting, whatever your thing is. But I feel like this is going to put you in a position where you can actually invest money, get your own like assets, your own monies, your own your equity. Maybe there is a separation or division from someone that you felt like was a soulmate, and you are getting, I heard freedom. It's just this reading is all about, but maybe you're getting out of a bad marriage, and it's going to be 50-50, and you know, you're going to consider your assets and spend them wisely. So what else do we have for pile number 3? I apologize. I know this seems like it's all over the place. And for those of you that are like waiting for a soulmate, you know, I'm going to say that you're going to connect with a lot of different people throughout your life. And it's, again, important if they give you the correct energy back, that's one thing. But if energetically you're not on the same wavelength, it's like listening to a radio and not tuning into the correct channel fully. You can hear static and a couple of words, but the rest is blah, blah, blah. And in the end, it's just words. So actions definitely speak louder than words. I just want to toss all these cards down. Pile number 3, last words about freedom. Show me what I need to see for pile 3 and show me now. 2 of Wands. Oh my. 2 of Wands is making a decision, making a choice, with a little panda having a map here. Perhaps this is stating that you're going to relocate. You're looking at where you're going to move to and what is appealing. So definitely your compasses are out and you're looking to see where your wings can take you. And that's really cool. Maybe you're deciding on like what school to go to. Maybe you're going out of state, moving out of your parents' home, or maybe you're going through a divorce, or maybe you're leaving a relationship, situationship, or simply it could be that you've not been in a relationship, but you're looking at where to go next. That's going to really help you be the person that you can voice your own feelings and emotions and help you feel connected to Mother Earth, to nature, and things like that, or make you feel invigorated, freedom to pursue what it is that you desire. Then I happen to have 6 of Cups here. For me, that's quite unexpected. You could be moving back to the town or where you came from, things like that. Anywhere that you were that makes you feel nostalgic. And I hadn't noticed this little kitty before. So interesting. So the panda is kind of dressed with little cat ears, and the cat's looking at it going, what? So it could be that you're finding like your tribe again, that you, 6 of Cups is like nostalgia about the past, about where you felt like you once fit in. And maybe you're in a situation, or you've been in a long-term situation that you feel like you don't fit in, that you've had to pretend to be a different species, or like you have to pretend maybe that you're monogamous and you're not, and that you want to explore a poly life, or maybe that you pretended that you led a life that you were gay and you're not, and you want to go back to like being heterosexual, or vice versa. I don't know, but you get the gist of this. Okay, so nostalgia can be, again, where you were raised from, a tribe where you felt complete, where you felt like there was a lot of innocence, a lot of happiness, where you felt comfortable, and things like that. And I feel like the cat's just even looking at the panda going, are you sure? You know, we accept you how you are. So the biggest thing is like the freedom and being exactly who you are is going to be really important moving forward. And Spirit is affirming this by the 3 of Cups. This is celebrations. This is bar mitzvahs. This is weddings. This is happy hour. It could be anything. Family reunions. It could be retreats that really set your spirit on fire. So anything that makes you feel excited, that makes you feel complete, that makes you feel celebratory. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, you're going to move towards those things with the speed that is going to really surprise you. And I feel like those wings have a ton of color in them. I feel like you're going to, yeah, move towards like, this is movement, towards flight, towards movement, towards change, towards things that make you thrive. And on the top of your brain is going to be security. This little panda took off his little glasses. And I feel like there's just a lot more clarity. You're going to get the clarity that you need to move forward and have the wherewithal to get the freedom that you need. And of course, freedom is going to look different for each and every one of you. If you like this kind of reading, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what interested you in the reading or what you would like to hear in the future. If not, I'm just going to be a bull in the china shop and do what I do. Much love to you. Thank you so much, and namaste.